How does the dinner come about, Sean?
Well, I think it's something the Spurs had planned for a while, Dan. It's something that they put together to just kind of welcome him to the city and welcome him with, guys that he kind of grew up watching play and the icons, basically of the organization. So it was nice to see Big Dave there, and nice to break bread with Timmy. Timmy's like Howard Hughes, he's just like a recluse. You see him every once in a while. You're like, hey, hey man, what's going on? I mean, he's always in hiding, and to have Manu there was really special. And the thing I loved about it most, Dan, I'll be honest with you, is when he walked in, just to see the expression on his face when he saw David and he saw Timmy and he saw Manu was something else. There was like a reverence there.
Oh, was
And
he
it was
surprised he didn't know that Duncan and David were
no,
going to be there?
I think he knew, but it's just that I'm an old curmudgeon, right? And it's nice to see a young player that appreciates the history of the game and appreciates those guys that came before him, and you could tell that he really appreciated those guys.
Was there a game plan during dinner?
No, no, not at all. We just, Pop told me when he called me, just hey, just welcome him, and you guys can ask him questions, and he's going to ask you a lot of questions, and that's basically what it was. And it was nice because everybody around the table got to go around and talk about their NBA experience and what you can expect, and give him some tips and some pointers about how to prepare himself, how to get ready for the season, how to endure the gruel. And so it was a lot of fun. But on his end too, he's a very, very mature young man, Dan, and he asked all the right questions. I mean, I think we all came away from that dinner just even more excited, more enthusiastic than we'd ever been.
Give me a for instance. What was he asking? Because I was more curious about what he was asking more than what you were telling him.
Just questions about how to prepare your body, how to get rest, what the travel schedule is like, because you're coming from playing 55 to 60 games to playing 82. I think he wants to play as many games as he possibly can, but he's already somebody who is very in tune with eating the right way, getting his rest. He asked us all if how can you get enough sleep on the road? I mean, what kind of young person asked that question? I mean, most guys are like, hey, what's the best club to go to in Philly or New York? He's asking how he can get rest on back to backs, and so again, just really mature and wise beyond his years.
But I'm wondering if you said he could emulate David Robinson or Tim Duncan style,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
which path would you point him? Or maybe somebody else, but just the fact that those two legends were there.
I think he's going to be who he is. I give a lot of credit to Dave and Tim. I've said it over and over again that the real reason the San Antonio Spurs have been successful for 20 plus years, 25 years, is because David Robinson and Tim Duncan didn't read the superstar handbook. They're not divas. They're not full of themselves. They don't feel like they're bigger than the franchise. Very coachable guys, and he fits that mold perfectly. You can ask for a better young man to now take over the reins, but he also reminds me of what Steve Kerr said about about Steph Curry, excuse me. He said that he's very comfortable in his own skin. He's not trying to please a certain crowd. He doesn't care about all the noise on social media. He's just going to go on and be himself, and he sets high expectations for himself, and that's what he looks to. He doesn't look for outside noise.